Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? I know there's a lot of us that are probably still asleep. You might catch me on replay, but um, I just wanted to come on to give a recap of everything that happened last night. DFJ and I were on until about 1 my time. And for those that don't know, yesterday was the motion for summary judgment. So that's what we're talking about today. Lively versus Wayfair bombshells from the MSJ. Hello, hello, Vamps, all the way from Transylvania. How are you? Um, I hope you're doing well over there in Romania. Um, my best vampire voice. Hi, Elsie. How are you? Um, so y'all over on TikTok, those girls go hard. So shout out to Bocce, Elsie, um, Raven, and Carol, especially Carol. We're gonna shout her out a ton on the show. I set a goal for 5 super chats of the blue ones, the $2 ones, and anything that is made from the super chats or from ad revenue today is going to go to docketupdates.com for just how wonderful their website is, because I had it. You guys are going to check it out and see how cool it is. I'm going to show y'all in a minute how great it is for everyone that needs to catch up on the MSJ. Okay. So any super chats or any ad revenue from this show is going to go to Docket Updates. Um, hey, Bizio, thank you so much for yesterday. That was so cool, and for supporting us and all that. So yeah, all those girls over on TikTok have been going since 8 p.m. They are still going. They went through every single last thing, not a stone left unturned. They did some really fun Oscar win worthy performances where and DFJ is here, but she's feeding the animals. So thank you, DFJ. Armand is here. She was with us yesterday. We had a really cool show. Bear with me, y'all, because I don't usually do like the document stuff. I normally just kind of like help creators and highlight their stuff. So it was like my first time doing like docket reading and all that stuff. And there was a ton of stuff to go through. And all we ended up doing yesterday was like reading the table of contents, some exhibits, like previews, because they weren't up yet. I mean, some of the exhibits didn't drop till like 4 or 5 in the morning. You were over there on TikTok, Deborah. Deborah's a new member or subscriber. Are you? No, you're a subscriber, not a member yet. But yeah, she's a new subscriber. She joined us last night, which was really fun. Oh, did they finally decided to go to sleep? I was telling them, I was like, by the time that you guys, by the time that I finish my show, you guys will probably still be here. Um, third time in the chat today. I know. I just thought it was really cool. They went super hard over there because um, they literally left no stone unturned. They did. Each person would act out who it was on the different depositions. Like some would play the lawyer, some would play Steve Sarowitz. Steve Sarowitz's deposition was pretty good. I don't have anything on those specific exhibits that came out this morning because I just kind of put together a show from what I could grab on some of the most highlighted stuff just to catch everybody up on what's going on. So I'm just going to let some people come in here really quick before I get right into it. Hey, Indo, how are you? Our super chat goal is set, and all proceeds today will be going to Docket Updates. If you haven't liked the stream and you're here, give us a like, and you can subscribe or join as a member right up there where it says join or subscribe as well. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, turn on notifications. I fell asleep for a couple hours and woke up to them still going. I know. So basically, I got off the chat with DFJ. I ended up reading the two motion, because there was the memorandum of law and then there was the rule 56.1, and the difference between those is that one of them is the rules 56.1 is undisputed facts, so that's like facts that are not disputed, and then the memorandum of law is to back all that up with law. And so one of them was 83 pages, one of them was 73 pages. I linked on our live, me and DFJ's live. If you go to the description, it'll show the creators. Lauren and all them read the memorandum, and then Bocce on TikTok and all them read the rule 56.1. And I'm not even sure if they went ahead and read the other 7. I wouldn't put it past them that they read the other 73 point, but I think they just ended up going straight into the exhibits after they dropped. So I kind of just read that and then put together a couple of stuff that was out went on X, and then fell asleep, and then I woke up again, um, saw that they were still on. So I pretty much got like 4.5, 5 hours of sleep. And yeah, I saw that I was putting together the show this morning with them at like 7 in the morning. Good morning, Trish. Good morning. Good morning. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna start off with some stuff that happened yesterday that's not MSJ related, but I felt like compelled to share with you guys, that I found while I was looking for MSJ stuff. So this is our very favorite nag over on TikTok talking about the Jed Wallace dismissal, you guys. So yesterday, another thing that happened, and I thought that was weird timing, the day that the MSJ is, and I'm not saying anything is sus. Do I have my allegedly bar? Okay, I do. I'm not saying that anything is sus, but and then my audio doesn't work. I hate it when it does that, when it says the audio goes out. Let me make this big too, y'all. Let me make it big. Um let me see, hold on. It's because it's square, because I had it square yesterday and not circle. So I don't know. The style is let me go to bubble. And can I switch this to bubble? Then it's gonna change the color, but I gotta switch it to bubble because then it's smaller. Hold up, y'all. There you go. That's better. And then let me just switch the color. Give it that good red. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Technical difficulties. From Kazakhstan. I'm like, I can't even pronounce it. Finally, Justin's whole story is coming out, and he has a voice. Thank you for joining us, Sheila. Yes, and it is spicy. My husband picked me up off the couch, dead asleep at 4 a.m. Trish said I had to go to sleep last night, so I watched Lauren's live early this morning. I haven't seen the exhibit, and talk to texting right now. Okay. I was playing Replay Crew on Quora. Yeah, she actually did the whole reading of the 73 pages, then tapped into TikTok. Now I'm here. Um, so let's get into NAGS, the dismissal from Jed. So it says the Texas judge dismissed the case in Texas for lack of personal jurisdiction. Pre-petition discovery didn't count as litigation under Texas law. And there was something that it was, when she tried to serve him with that it wasn't like a subpoena, but it was like something that she was trying to serve him with, but the judge basically said, like, you didn't serve him, and it was only 2 weeks, so that doesn't, like, it doesn't fall into jurisdiction. South by Southwest was hearsay, so that jurisdiction couldn't be based on that. It was dismissed without prejudice, so Wallace can refile. Both sides are now struggling to find a state that fits. Hudson filed a motion to compel disguised as a sealing objection. Redactions and missing content in sealed docs, includes Lively's latest interrogatory answers. And in those interrogatory answers, I think, is where the Perez Hilton has entered the chat again. Lists everything she claims. Oh no, I think it's in the response. Never mind, it's in 949. We'll get into it. Because then Lively claps back in the New York case against Jed Wallace after this happens. Lively smear campaign lists everything she claims is part of the alleged smear. Still no details on her protected activity for retaliation claims. Okay, that's what she's saying, the smear campaign list. 3 themes emerge: amplification, media spin, and personal attacks. Category 1, normal PR work. Boosting posts and shaping stories looks like routine PR. Regular publicity, not a smear campaign. Category 2, positive coverage. Praise for others, like Baldoni, can't be proof of defamation. Hard to argue that someone else's success equals a smear. Category 3, gray areas. Mentions TikToks and Daily Mail articles. Unclear if directed manipulation occurred. Did Jed suppress links? Open to questioning about social media control. Implausible smear campaign. NAG doubts a jury would see Baldoni's domestic violence advocacy as smearing Lively. So that's the latest. And then hold on, I gotta stop sharing and then reshare to see if my audio works for this Perez video, because I feel like it's really pertinent and I want it to work. So hold on. Let me go to share screen. Dude, I love that it's Kazakhstan and Romania. That's so cool that, like, People are just watching me from all the way out there. You know, there's also the fanatic fans. I feel so excited for Justin, knowing people are seeing BL for who she is. Yeah, it's so crazy. Okay, let me pull up. Let me pull up. Okay, so then really quick, I'll get to this before we get to Perez. But TMZ reported on the dismissal in Texas last night, and so you know how everyone's like, oh, talking crap about TMZ, and I even like stayed on their necks. I'm like, let me pull up everything that they said about that was anti-Baldoni and pro-Blake, because Harvey was full, like he was full of BS when he was talking. And the only reason why I tolerated TMZ was because I liked Mark Garagos and I liked the Two Angry Men like podcast because I liked Mark Garagos. But now it's like no more halo effect. Like it's F Harvey and F TMZ, because it says Blake Lively scores legal win over crisis PR firm and Justin Baldoni legal drama. So it went from that, from them spinning it, and all the news outlets spun it right before the motion for summary judgment drop. It changed later to Blake Lively evens the score in Baldoni's legal drama. Like seriously, because neither one of it was correct. It was just, it's dismissed without prejudice. Like what they did when, like it seems like whenever she has some filings, they put it like in good light towards her, which I guess this is like a win for her, so they should have. But I mean, she really didn't win because it's like a wash, more like. So maybe this one is more likely even score. Still, though, it just shows that they changed the headlines, and all that. So let me get into the Perez of it all. So it was this one. It's over on docket updates. I'm going to go to the actual website to show y'all, but it's number 949 over on docket updates. And so it's this one. BL wants the judge to agree with her redactions, I think, not JW. But anyway, so this is Perez reacting. I'm going to play it for y'all real quick because it is so funny. I think it starts here. And then is it not going to play because technical difficulties? Can we have a show without technical difficulties? On yesterday's me and DFJ's show, there was technical
2025. Miss Nathan texted with Perez Hilton regarding inside drama concerning It Ends With Us. In response to Mr. Hilton asking for clarification on the purportedly insider information, Miss Nathan wrote, quote, I am happy for you to say this to that. Sources close says, Blake and Ryan need to know that the other side has texts from Leslie Sloan to reporters that show attempting to place stories about Justin from July. She started this.
I love
Oh my God.
reaction.
The smearing, massive, malignant. That's not smearing. That's not smearing. I think. What do you think? But there's more. As a member of Miss Nathan's circle of trust, Mr. Hilton has created more than 500 pieces of video content and about the same number of posts of sensational headlines, almost entirely disparaging about Miss Lively for reporting SH since August 2024. No, that's not why I have posted content that has not been favorable about Ku Klux Klan. It's because of who she is and what she did. Everything else that she did. They continue. In his videos, Mr. Hilton has called Miss Lively disparaging and insulting names such as Blackface Blake, Lying Lively. Okay, so anyways, y'all go check out his video, and then let's get into docket update. Here is the website, y'all. Like I said, anything that I make from ad revenue or super chats on this or super thanks after the fact in the comments,
I'm gonna find a way to donate because I did have some DMs on my X account, like, how do we donate to docket updates? And I was trying to tell her to get like a buy me a coffee or something because this website is just it's so amazing. Look, so for those of you guys who want to go and like read the docs yourself, um, right here there's a button, the motion for summary judgment videos. The link is here. So the biggest tea that dropped, well, one of the biggest teas that dropped, there's tons of exhibits too that some of which I haven't gone over, but was these videos so we have new videos from the set. So it's the hospital scene. We have BL using the word sexy. We have the Isabel Ferrer scene where she hugs the crew, or where the crew hugs JB. Casting crew initiating hugs. Bar video, BL needs a toothpick. So it's so cool that those are all just kind of set up like that. And then if you go to if you just scroll down, so that's where it's all at. If you scroll down, you get the latest news. You can just click here. And then here under latest news, this is the MSJ. You go to continue reading. And y'all, look how cool this is. Not only can you just read it here, you don't have to like go through court listen or anything like that, but you also have everything here. The stuff that's sealed, it'll say it's sealed. Um, and then you can just go straight to anything, like clicking on the exhibits. These are the ones that I think I left off here because these came up, or these two, 963 and 964 dropped, and I hadn't gotten to them. So I did get a couple tidbits from them from the live this morning from Bocce over there. So I'll delve into a little bit of it, but mostly we're just going around the internet and seeing what everybody's saying. What's the citizens saying? What are the streets saying? But look how beautiful this website is. I just love it, love it, love it. So, okay, I did the MSJ videos. Oh, and then she had this, Sarah Yarn and Law. We featured this yesterday. It's a bingo card. So if you guys want to go read it on your own and then just pick a card and just see, like, it's just like a fun thing to do, like while you're reading, like print it out as like a bookmark or something while you're reading the MSJ. I mean, I did, and there was a couple of them that I started going through, and then the second one I didn't use a bingo card, but that was really cool over there. And then what else do we have? Okay, so this is a summary of the motion for summary judgment. So shout out to It Ends with Lawsuit. This is Creative Chipmunk. Over there, they summarized it and they said, very, very thorough. They say all the claims need to be thrown out as they do not amount to any issues that belong in court. Sexual harassment allegations do not amount to conduct that can be brought to court. Minor incidents that would have happened in the course of the making of a film with adult themes have been exaggerated with hyperbolic lawyer spin and turned into something that they're not. Responses to conversations initiated by the plaintiff herself were taken out of context. Birth video was said to be corn. Talk of circumcision said to be discussing genitalia. Talk of publicly stated incident where Justin's boundaries were not respected was twisted into him saying he wasn't respected. The birthing seat shoot had her in a hospital gown, prosthetic belly, and fabric covering. So let's get into this part. Talk of circumcision said to be discussing genitalia. So there is, let me pull it up real quick. I think it's right. Was it here? Where was it that it was? I wanted to pull up the actual part that said the talk of circumcision. Okay, I think it was in the motion to compel. Hold up. Let me see, because I had it, and then now my Windows, for some reason, I can't find it. There should be a court listener link. Let me see. Is it in the memorandum of law? I just want to pull up where it said, let me see, is it this one? Circumcision. No, it's not that one. Okay, so it's the other one. It's the rule 56.1. Okay, here it is. Okay, I found it. Sorry, y'all. It says above several incidents that Lively had raised previously, including Baldoni's reference to circumcision in their first meeting. So y'all remember when he said the thing about genitalia that he, said no more showing or no more talking about your genitalia. He was talking about a circumcision, and we don't know the context behind that, but it's so funny that Bocce clocked that. She was like, I bet you anything it's going to be either vasectomy or a circumcision, and it's not going to be anything like nefarious, like he was just talking about his balls or anything like that. So there was that part, and then hold on, let me get back to the other one where I was at. There was that part, and then there was talk of publicly stated incident where Justin's boundaries were not respected. And so there was 2 exhibits. It was on his book, about his book. So it's Boys Will Be Boys or Boys Will Be Human. That's one of the ones he wrote. And he talks about his college girlfriend named Sophia. He calls her Sophia, and he talks about how she like disrespected like his boundaries and like initiated like interactions when he wasn't ready. And so there's an exhibit, there's that exhibit, and then there's another exhibit here, which is his other book, Man Enough, where he recounts it too. So that's what they're saying, that she flipped this where like, there was no consent and flipped it into like him be the one that didn't give consent. But there is a transcript of his deposition where he's asked like, did you or did you not give a speech or is it Glamour magazine? It's really sad. He talks a lot about abuse, and I didn't know that he was like abused by, he gave an interview to Glamour magazine about how he was abused by someone in the industry or something, like in a hot tub or something, which was really crazy, like when I read that part. But yeah, I guess there was another part where he said like, yeah, maybe in my teens and 20s, I wasn't sure, like based on what I had seen on TV and all that stuff, I didn't know like how to ask for stuff. Like, not saying that he never gave consent, but he was just saying that he wasn't very well versed in like the process. But this Sophia incident was when he was 20. So he basically, she said it was a safe space. He opened up, and so yeah, so we got a couple nuggets with that. And then the birthing scene. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Okay, so let's move on. Sony asked for scenes to be more explicit to be true to the book. And then Lively added more schmexual elements to scenes herself. Any awkwardness she brought up was immediately acknowledged, discussed, and duly addressed. And even if everything was taken at face value, nothing in the complaint amounts to the definition of SH as per law. So one of the things that I guess she improvised or added is, let me pull it up. Is this scene, hold on. The hospital scene. Okay, hold on. I got to go back to the MSJs real quick. Okay. Let me go to latest news. Oh, actually, no, it's just right here. So this hospital scene, they're saying that she improvised. I'm going to play it for y'all. They're saying that she improvised this kiss, and let me just play it for y'all.
She doesn't know what to do with herself.
That this kiss, and she added this or improvised it.
And background. Action, Blake. June.
I promise you, you have absolutely nothing to be scared of, okay? I've done this surgery so many times, right? All you gotta do is close your eyes and you're gonna be great, all right? Bye, Emily. I'll see you later.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
Wait, what are you?
No, I just.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, you forgot this.
Wait, what?
Bye.
No, babe, this isn't one.
I know.
So, yeah, I don't know if she wrote that in or if she improvised it, but basically there was a bunch of scenes after the fact that she was trying to either make more schmexual or like improvisation. Like we saw how she grabs him to try and show him how to pull her in, and that was after the fact of the SH. And then I found this one interesting over on Reddit where they caught this where it says Exhibit 81 is an email from Alex Sachs to Todd Black showing emails from Justin about the script changes and how he's trying to deal with Blake's script changes. He's talking about how to figure out the intimacy stuff and keep her happy, but also stay true to the book and his vision. Lots of interesting stuff, but this right here is the best thing I've read so far. So shout out to It Ends with Lawsuits Peaceful Ocean for clocking this. Intimacy, not sure what to do here. See note. She's moved this scene from the bedroom into the kitchen now, which takes away from the intimacy and how I was planning on shooting it. I wanted her to run into the kitchen from another area to sell the misdirect that it was an accident. She has removed kissing, which is fine in the end. The last thing I want to do is kiss this woman. So in this one, I guess she removed it. But the point is, they need to get distracted enough to forget about the oven. And now with dialogue here, it changes it from a timeless moment of two people about to make love to dialogue that brings us into the realm of time. Not sure what to do on this scene. We all knew that's how he felt. Now here it is in black and white. I don't know how anyone can accuse this man of SHing her. He couldn't even stand her. Also note how he's not trying to force any unscripted kissing on her. He's pretty clearly respecting her wishes and boundaries. And that's the funny part, because Gottlieb is terrible in these depositions. When he was the one who deposed Justin Baldoni, and he is so terrible. He was like, so you wanted it from a female gaze, right? Well, wouldn't you say that Blake Lively is a female and it would be through her gaze? And he was trying to like catch him up, trying to be like, if you wanted it from a female gaze, why wouldn't you take Blake Lively's advice? And Justin Baldoni did the reverse Uno on him and was like, yeah, that's exactly why every single thing she said was implemented. So what now? And Steve Sarowitz did the same thing. Like Gottlieb kept trying to catch him up and he did not let up. So those two are must-sees too. And I'll try and see if I can gather some more stuff. I'll probably be going on in the mornings, every morning this week, just to catch you guys all up on, because it's robust. Like I said, it took them 12 hours to go over it over on TikTok. So there is a lot. So I'm going to try and gather as it's coming in. And I'm sure other content creators, some of the bigger creators and stuff will probably be making content in the next few days and then over the weekend as well. And then we'll get all the attorney stuff as well. So let me continue with the summary. Asking about her weight in a one-on-one conversation that happened outside of the workplace that the other party chose to share ahead of his own volition is not harassment. And Baldoni never sent Lively to a weight loss specialist, only tried to enable a consultation for a health challenge at the time. And this is documented in communications. Lively also failed to prove that the conduct she had issue with was gender specific. For instance, Justin hugged male members of cast and crew as well, not just female. Oh, and I love that reverse Uno that he did with Gottlieb, because Gottlieb's like, how many times did you hug Blake? And he's like, how many times she initiated it? Like, are we counting when she initiated the hugs? And he was like, I'm just asking about hugs. And he's like, well, I'm just trying to be specific. And he's like, just lump them all. And he's like, you're asking me to lump all the hugs? And he's like, I just don't know. Like, I don't have a number. And then he's like, I'm just going to answer, I don't know to that. So yeah, it was just funny when you read it, how Gottlieb just reacts. Like, he's like, and there's at one point where he's like, that was a bad question. Let's just come back to that. She's an indirect shareholder in some of them, so she also lacks standing to assert any claims, and she can't recover speculative lost profits. Oh, wait, was I? Okay, I was over here. No adverse employment actions. Wait, where was I? Was I up here? Yeah. Adverse, she actually gained full control of the movie, was duly compensated, received a PGA mark, and had the upper hand. Losses for her side business don't fall under the employment laws she's invoking. She's an indirect shareholder in some of them, so she also lacks standing to assert any claims, and she can't recover speculative lost profits. As stated in the MDROP, the employment laws invoked don't even apply in this case. A whole explanation of loan out agreement, lack of signature, and the fact that the 17-point list was an extension of existing loan out agreements and isn't an enforceable contract on its own, even though all its conditions were met. She calls out the shady tactics used to obtain personal texts. That Lively initiated the smear campaign. Smear campaign itself is not an issue to be resolved in court. Baldoni hired the PR services to protect himself from the smear. Lively had started using her network of influential friends. And I wish that like the deposition wasn't cut off, because it gets cut off at the juiciest parts. There's a part in the deposition where he says, did you say this to Brendan Sklenar? And he's like, I don't remember telling this to Brendan Sklenar. And then it just cuts off. And I was like, what did he say to Brendan Sklenar? And then there's a part 2 where he talks about Taylor Swift and all the people that were around her. I think he says Taylor and Bradley, and how he was like, at that point, I knew I couldn't fight her. But yeah, there was a ton of little Easter eggs like that. Pushing positive narratives for people and projects is the definition of PR, and there's nothing illegal about it. Her extensive discovery included subpoenas to various content creators, hasn't resulted in a single piece of evidence that shows malice or planning of false stories. All of the conduct publicized in the media were things she actually said and did in the past. Also says Sarowitz has nothing to do with the whole thing, and Lively has failed to show how he is even involved here. The Claire Ayub disaster was a nothing burger. Well, there is, they do depose Steve Sarowitz on what he said with the Claire Ayub, and he claps back so many times. He's like, they were like, how do you know that what Blake Lively wasn't saying didn't require an investigation? Because they were trying to get him to say that he knew that there was something going on before the CRD, because he was saying, like, I didn't know anything till the CRD. But he's like, he vaguely like knew that something was going on, but that it had gotten taken care of, and that like they were trying to come after him more so for like coming after Justin. And he's like, he calls out Blake Lively because he's like, why didn't you investigate something that she were to say? He's like, because by that time he's like, she was a proven liar. Like everything that was coming out of her mouth like wasn't adding up. And so by the time I guess he had this conversation with Claire, he was just like not having it. And he's like, because she kept saying, oh, and then with the CRD, or not the CRD, but the filing where she claims that that he was trying to unalive her and her husband. And he's like, I never even said that. I even clarified in the sentence, and the fact that she spun it as if I was trying to. Yeah, so there were no threats made and no proof has been provided that he said he would spend millions to bury them, as he never said that. Wayfair also paid by It Ends With Us LLC for administrative and other support services, so technically also not implicated as an employer in any way. Lively wasn't an employer to start with. She received no employee benefits such as health benefits as part of her engagement. And very impactful, no nonsense writing addresses, this is Alexandra Shapiro, y'all. They brought in the big guns, and she was at the depositions and everything too. She was the one that was like, objection. And she was like a badass. She's like, you don't have to answer this. This was something that was between you and the attorneys. Addresses every single allegation and why none of the laws invoked, New York or California, apply. Kind of makes it look like the judge is a bit of a doofus for letting this become so ugly by entertaining the pounding of ridiculous motions for a plainly frivolous lawsuit. I also think WP could have made a lot of these arguments in a motion to dismiss right at the start with existing evidence at that stage, and it would have helped them reclaim their narrative just as well as the countersuit timeline that ultimately failed. Let me check the comments real quick, and then I'm going to go with Sarah Does Laws video. Thank you, Khaleesi. Please remember to like and subscribe. Yes. And any ad revenue or super chats or super thanks in the comments are going to go to docket updates for this episode, for all their hard work on keeping, the website up and all the videos accessible. Because a lot of people didn't want to go watch the videos because it was a Dropbox. So it would log you and your email and like your IP and all that stuff. And so if she hadn't put that up, we wouldn't be able to, let me put myself down here real quick, y'all. Did DFJ ever come back from feeding the animals? Hey, hens. I don't think so, huh? Is she here? Hey, Wrathful. Good morning. She might have fallen back asleep because she said she was tired. Let me see. But yeah, go check out our live yesterday. We kind of were just yapping, waiting for the motion to drop. And then I put like the timestamps on there so that you guys can see like where the juicy stuff is. But it was a good time. Let's hold on. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was putting myself down here so y'all could see it bigger. Okay, I'm just kind of looking at the chat to see who's here. Welcome, Hands. How are you? We have a few members. If you don't know how to become a member, you can become a member up at the top. It says subscribe member. Thank you, Bizio. I appreciate it. How do I pull it up? Okay, wait. I'm clicking on it. How do I highlight it? Oh, maybe I have to do it over here. Okay, sorry. I was trying to do it up there. Docket update fun. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Bizio is a big supporter of the channel, and I truly, truly appreciate it because she's what keeps the show going sometimes. And this will be cool to hand over to them because they literally work so hard. It's Carol, and she worked like all night while Bocce was, and they were all doing it over on TikTok. Carol was uploading everything onto the website. She said, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, Miriam. I know, Miriam. I call you Bizio. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. I'm going to call you Miriam. Miriam. I also like the sound of Bizio. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing shout outs for members on like if you guys want to shout out, like because I know Bizio does music and all that stuff. Oh, we have Italy followers today. Wow, that's so cool. We have Italy, Kazakhstan. I couldn't say it. Jesse, I'm late, still catching up. Did Blake file her own motion? No, she did not. Do we know? I've been so curious about that. No, she did not. She did not file one, and the deadline is done. So let's just see. Literally all night and unlocked many of the videos and dockets for us. Yes, they were paying for Pacer stuff over there. I believe was it Raven that was paying for the Pacer stuff? I don't know. I remember I saw Raven paying for some stuff that she unlocked. So yes, they were literally all night. So I hope that I can support. I supported her a little bit over there on the live, but I really want her to get a button Diddy docket for the Diddy case. They have a website and they have a little buy me a coffee, which is simple to set up, and you just put the little link at the bottom. And that's kind of what I did when I first started. I had a Patreon little buy me a coffee, and people would just buy me coffees just to stay up all night and sleuth. And I was like, everybody who's like, how are they still awake? Y'all weren't here in the beginning. There was literally people who were staying up like 48 hours when that first like amended complaint drop or the clap back to the New York Times. That whole area from like January to March, it was crazy. There was people like admitting that they didn't even go pee and stuff. Like I remember there was a creator that was like, I haven't even gone pee or drank water. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, DFJ. She also bought some Pacer docs. She said, hey, I bought Pacer docs for us too last night. Yes, DFJ. She also bought some Pacer docs. We were talking about the docketupdates.com website to get them up on there. But yes, I appreciate that from DFJ. She was on it. So if you guys want to go support her channel over there, she has the same live. We did dual stream. So if you guys want to go support her over there and watch hers, get her some views over there on hers. Yeah, and then she had a little Easter eggs over there on, well, it was both our streams, but on Stephanie Jones while we were waiting. There's some good little slides that she had up on Stephanie Jones. So I appreciate you too, DFJ. Sorry. And I thought you were asleep or feeding the animals, but thank you for bringing that up, because I do appreciate that we were getting stuff super quick while we were on the live, because it was crazy. Like even the videos, me and her, neither one of us had a oh, she's saying good morning to everyone. Are the animals done being fed? Was I saying? Oh, we were like, who has a Dropbox? And I had to sign up for a Dropbox because we were like, oh, you need Dropbox to find the videos. So it's really cool that like now they're on the docket update website. What do you think the judge will? When do you think? Okay, so the reply is due December 3rd. She was supposed to do it in November, but they extended it. So December 3rd is when the reply is due. And then the reply to that is due, or the response to that reply is due by December 12th. So it's not going to be any sooner than December 12th, you guys. Don't get your hopes up. But speaking of what the judge is going to do, let me bring up our very own Yarn and Law over on TikTok. These are the TikTok gals getting their flowers over here. Let me share this tab real quick. Oh, it's muted. Okay, hold on. Let me
Even if defendants.
Okay, so this is she did the bingo cards, and I love that when she did the bingo cards, she did a lot of case law in there. So if like you knew case law, there was some bingo cards that had, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up one of the bingo cards that had, because I think it had McSweeney and let me see if it's the first one. No, it's not this one. Let me see. But she had one that had all like case law on it. Nope, not that one. I'll just click on one more and see. Nope. Okay, well, anyways, let me see if I can find it. No, okay, I can't find it. But there was one bingo card that had case law. It was like McSweeney versus whatever. So that's what this one is. It's okay, I'm just gonna let her do the talking because she does it way better. So this is a decision. McSweeney is a decision by Judge Lyman, and I feel like I wanted to save this for the end because I feel like this is checkmate. But yeah, y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think.
It's literally midnight, but even if defendants' conduct in late 2024 somehow could stretch back to workplace concerns raised over a year before, there would still be no actionable harassment. This court knows well, because this is Lyman's decision, that the parties accused of harassment are permitted to defend themselves. See McSweeney citation. And it's the direct quote that I was reading to Katie. No reasonable employee should expect that the employer defendant would simply surrender in the face of litigation. And another case citation, an employer is entitled to undertake reasonable defensive measures against an employee's charge of discrimination. The Second Circuit has recognized that such reasonable defensive measures do not violate the anti-retaliation provision of Title VII. Defendants' publicity efforts, even if construed in their worst possible light, are precisely the type of reasonable defensive measures outside the scope of actionable retaliation.
So she was like, because she had been talking about that. Oh, sorry, y'all. Let me see if I can get it back. Hold on. Okay.
It's literally midnight, but
this is the highlighted part. Okay. So it's McSweeney, and it says no reasonable employee should expect that the employer defendant would simply surrender in the face of litigation. And when I read that, I was like, okay, is this checkmate? Is this, I mean, we're gonna have to see what the lawyers say. I can't wait for little girl attorney and all of that. But so Yarn in Law, it's her name's Sarah. She's over on TikTok, and she is a jury consultant. So if this goes to trial, or when it goes to trial, we don't know. She's gonna be, like, it's gonna be really cool to have her around, because she'll know like when they're going through the is it voir dire? I don't know how to say it. DFJ always corrects me because I tried to say it the other day and I couldn't. Voir dire. I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then Raffle said, "Have you slept?" Yes, I did. I slept for a little while. Wait, CJ, have you slept? Yes, I slept for like 3 hours, and then I woke up to pee, and I got on X I retweeted a couple stuff on X, and then I went back to sleep for like another 2 hours, and then I woke up at like 7 and went over to Bocce's live to see like what else I could gather for the show. And yeah, let's see what else is going on. Oh, Senti, you have a meeting in 4 minutes. You could just be replay crew. You can be replay crew for the rest. I'm almost done with it. This whole group is absolutely amazing. I had no clue how many people are dedicated fans to seeing Justice for Justin. Yeah, and like there's like day ones, like that people that have been covering it since like right in December. That's why I like Bocce stuff so much, because she knows the case inside and out, because she was like sleepless nights since December. And that's what I'm saying. Like we went through even worse sleepless. Like I'm talking about, I think the end of January through March, like it went in like a whirlwind, because people weren't sleeping. It was like stuff was dropping every day. Like you had to just be on top of it. All I know is that Team Kaka better wear their Blake Brown pants to court. Let's see. Everyone waiting for the MSJ had little sleep today. Well, a lot of people were smart. They knew that it was going to drop at midnight, and then they just like slept most of the day and then woke up. Because I saw a lot of people waking up as we were finishing up, that were just like, oh, did it drop or whatever. Good morning, Deborah. Oh, she's just saying good morning. You were already here. Okay. Let's continue. So that was another Easter egg. So let me get my windows all here going. So we did the circumcision. We did the hospital scene video. What else is left, y'all? Oh, okay. So here's this video. So this is the video of the sexy onesie video. And so let me see if I can turn up the volume on here and show you guys. So he asks her, like, are you comfortable? Like, he wants her to take off the coat. And then he says, it's hot in here. And if you watch the whole 8-minute video, they have like fans and they're like fanning themselves because it's hot. So I think that's why he's showing that, like, it was hot in there. He was just trying to ask her. And then when she said like, oh, it's hot, then he's like, well, it's sexy, like saying that, hold on, I might have to move spots because, hold on one second, y'all, because they're working on my, they're working on the plumbing, and I don't know if y'all can hear all that. So let me go down here real quick. Sorry, y'all, technical difficulties. Yeah, he's like extracting water and stuff, so I'm sure that you could probably hear it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. And I tried you guys to isolate.
Hey, everybody, we really should go, please. So, again, who's gonna watch everything here? A wall comes in, right? So please make sure that nobody's standing right here.
Wendy's.
All right, we should go. Ready?
I think it's gonna be pretty hot. And then it says sexy right here. And then he's like, you have something in your teeth.
Toothpick, please. Viv, do you have a toothpick?
Yeah, right here.
Thank you.
I was trying to figure out who this girl was right here. I think it's the costume designer. But if anybody knows who this girl is, I thought it was the costume designer when I looked, but then she wasn't in the disclosure. So you would think that the person that was standing next to them would be in the disclosures, but I couldn't find anyone that had a name that would fit who she was. I looked up everyone in the disclosures, but if any super sleuths want to sleuth that out, because I'm curious as to who that girl is. And then, okay, so what else did we have? Okay, so this is the Little Nomad actually pulled up. Shout out to Little Nomad over on X. She's a super sleuth. She pulled up the part in the document that it says what he said. He asked if she could take off her big coat so that her onesie would be visible in the scene. It'll be hot as it was 90 degrees in the small bar. Lively mischaracterizes this in her complaint as him referring to her as hot. But given that Lively herself had earlier expressed to him that she wanted her character wardrobe to be sexier, Baldoni encouraged her to accept direction by saying it's sexy. So speaking of it's sexy, there was another video, which was this video here, where she's basically calling her boots sexy. Wait, what did she say? Hold on real quick. She says her boots are so sexy because they're just bone hitting wood. She just wants a chair. Like, so the bone is hitting wood. So some people said that was like sexual. So I guess she just needed a okay, sorry. She just needed a chair to sit on. Okay, so I'm down to the last two little Easter eggs here, y'all, as we wrap up. The fat shaming coach disappeared and no mention of the no consent car ride at depositions. It says Lively also alleges that Baldoni shamed Lively for her body and weight by offering to connect her with a specialist in probiotics after Lively caught strep throat because Lively alleges the expert was instead a weight loss specialist. Lively has not offered any admissible evidence supporting that claim. She did not discuss it during her deposition, and she has not produced any documentary evidence indicating that the expert was a weight loss specialist. Documentary evidence shows that Baldoni discussed Lively's illness. Lively also alleged that during the first phase of filming, while riding in a car with Lively, her assistant and her driver, Baldoni stated that he had not always obtained consent before interactions. Baldoni was not questioned about this incident during his 2 days of depositions. So that's why I call cap on this whole incident, because they just took that from his book. The whole, oh, I didn't get consent. They just made that up, because otherwise, why wouldn't they ask him about that in the depositions? So I think that's it. Oh, wait, no, I have one more. Hold on. Here's one more. So it says it was Jenny Slate who filed the second complaint because Justin Baldoni called her leather pants sexy. So we already knew that it was Jenny Slate, but it's just basically confirming who it was. And he does get deposed about this in the one of the depositions. And then, oh, this was a cool little Easter egg. Excerpt from Justin Baldoni's deposition. Apparently, Brian Reynolds has also terrorized The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, in the past. It says, I think she represented The Rock, and she had said that on that call that Mr. Reynolds had like terrorized The Rock or something to that extent. Something about a letter. I don't remember the details, but something about like he had written a letter and it was like they wouldn't do press together. I don't know. It was a lot of gossip, but that's why I remember laughing, because I was just like, oh. And so I don't remember, were they fighting? Because I remember that wasn't The Rock represented by Stephanie Jones, and then he dropped her because she was like spreading stuff about him, like planting stories so she could later solve them. Wasn't that The Rock, y'all? Okay, so last one before I let y'all go for the morning. A series of deeply upsetting messages between Justin and his close support group revealed the depth of his pain after the call. And I think we had already seen this one after the January 4th meeting. Sorry for not giving an update. Last night was one of the hardest nights of my lives. It's hard to describe exactly. I had no words. I couldn't formulate sentences. My brain was trying to defend itself when they were needing me to apologize for all the ways I have effed up and made her feel unsafe. Ryan was talking to me like I was a 5-year-old and scolding me. They essentially said that Jamie and I are not who we claim to be and that for us to have a podcast is unsafe because it makes people feel like we are safe. I was read from a phone all of the things that I did, while many of them were weren't based in actual situations. The events were wrong and things were taken completely out of context. The word creepy and abused were used in reference to me and my behavior. I was then given the words of what to say, and then I had to apologize, which I was unable to do because my brain was trying to comprehend what was happening. I was shocked and basically went into feeling like I was a 7-year-old again when I got home last night. I was emotionally paralyzed. It was as bad as it sounds. Jamie did a beautiful job apologizing, but I did not have the words. I was embarrassed for myself as it happened in front of the team, but I was embarrassed that I was unable to even formulate the correct words to apologize, and honestly just felt like a bad person. It's hard to feel so much of what they believe about me is false because they are so convinced that it's real. Looking for the nuggets of learning, which there are many, and somehow have showed up today. Thanks to Jamie and my wife, we are currently shooting. I love you all. My brain was struggling because what I wanted to say and do was run and blow this whole movie up because I feel like this is just so unjust. And yet the only path forward was to acknowledge her and Ryan's feelings and apologize and take the wrath of an angry husband. Yeah, I couldn't even do that correctly. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for the words and they didn't come. So I felt abandoned by God in that moment, even though I know that's not what happened. We were told this was the worst experience of her life and others have witnessed this behavior, and the behavior on the set was creepy. I was emotionally paralyzed, which is something I haven't experienced in years. At Rain, imagine that meeting all those years ago at Soul Pancake with Glorious, but times that by 100. I spoke to my therapist for an hour and she tried to get me out of the haze as I literally could not get myself out of the couch. I don't know how I will make it through, but I know that I will, and just knowing you're all there for me means the world to me. Because even with Jamie here, my wife and family, I've never felt so alone. Putting a smile on, doing my best to lead the crew. I will unpack and process this when we wrap, of course. I apologize for the vulnerability dump. This is one of the few safe spaces I have right now. So I don't know if that's one that we saw. Oh, hey, Laura. Laura just came in. Is that video from the bar what they call a daily? Yeah, I think so. And the hospital one was a deleted scene. It wasn't in the movie. Everyone type in all caps so Laura can read it. Why is Laura having trouble reading? Guys, I went to work this morning listening to CJ and DFJ, and I just got home and now back on CJ's live. Well, dude, the TikTokers went for 12 hours, y'all, like literally 12 hours straight, no sleep. And then Eldridge did like double duty. She was on Lauren and TikTok. So she was on both at the same time. I'm just looking through. I'm trying to find when Laura came in. I missed it, Laura. Way back over here. I just started reading. So, guys, that's all we have so far for today's show. It's getting pretty spicy. I'm going to keep sleuthing, keep trying to figure out. My Roman Empire, I spent way too much time trying to figure out who let me put myself back up here, y'all. Who the Asian girl was next to him, because I literally went through all the disclosures. No, wait. First, I went through all of the It Ends With Us IMDb. And then I was like, who could be on set or whatever. And then I got that list, and then I copied and pasted the disclosures list to compare it to see, because I would assume that person that was standing right next to her would be a witness. So yeah, so that's just the very latest. There was a ton of deposition stuff. Please go support all the creators that are, spending a lot of time on putting stuff together and staying up and all that stuff. We have DFJ, we have Eldridge, Bocce, Carol, Raven, all those girls that were over there yesterday. And then, anyone that's coming out with content, that's the best way that we can, get the content out there, by supporting the creators and having them, supporting their work so they can get this content out there so like the world can know. Because with headlines like TMZ, I'm sure, I don't know how they're going to spin this, the MSJ, because it looks really, really bad for Lively. But let me just go look at the latest on docket updates. I just love this website. Look how pretty it is. It's just so pretty. I just love it. Okay, so let's see if anything else got unsealed. So no, so these are the two that have all like the super juicy stuff, like Shapiro's exhibits. It had like Melissa Nathan's deposition. We had text messages, screenshots of Baldoni's and a photo of Baldoni and team in the base. I'm trying to see what all I remember from me reading some of these docs, because a lot of the other ones were sealed, but there's 2 drops of exhibits. But some of them have been like unsealed as the morning goes. Because I think all these buy on Pacer ones are sealed ones, and then when you go to Pacer, it just has the sealed stuff. But let me see over here, these ones. So all of these, this is where I had started this morning. It was all of these. Jamie Heath's deposition. He just talks about like what his financial role and stuff was. And then Justin Baldoni's deposition was, like I said, he was clapping back at a lot of the stuff. There's 3 for Justin Baldoni's deposition. All of these are sealed. So Colleen Hoover's is sealed, Alex Sachs. But based on the Justin Baldoni's deposition, it seems like Alex Sachs was kind of like on Blake's side, and definitely her. Jamie Heath's deposition. So they asked him like what happened in the trailer. He says that he knocked on the trailer and that she was like, "Come in," and so like he came in, or that he thought he heard "come in," and he came in, and then he was like, "Oh," they were like, "No, no, 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 no," and he's like, "Oh," and she's like, "No, just don't look at me, but go ahead and stay." And they were talking about how she wanted the meeting the next day, and she wanted it that night. And he's like, "No, because if you have it tonight, then we're going to have to, start later tomorrow. And then it's going to cost us money." And she was like, "No, I want what I want, whatever." So then he left. And it wasn't until like there was no incident. She still like walked outside and like talked with all of them. And it wasn't until days later where she basically says like, "Oh yeah, and remember that time?" Like she attacked him with both the corn stuff with the birth video and the thing in the trailer. She's like, "Hey, remember that time that you showed me that video? Did you know that I thought it was corn?" And he was like, "Oh my God, no, I didn't know that." And she was like, "Yeah, I did. I thought that." And then it was like, that was it. He's like, she just left it at that. And then the other one was, do you remember when we were in the trailer? Like you made eye contact with me. Like, I'm not saying that you were trying to cop a look, but like, I just want to let you know, like you made eye contact with me. And he was like, "Oh, okay." But like, she didn't ask like for anything or being like, "I need an apology." Like it was just like, and then she left it at that. And so that was his testimony of what happened. But Gottlieb's like, "Are you saying that the makeup artist and the other woman that was there, the hairstylist, are lying?" Because they're like, they testified under oath. So basically the stories are going to be contradicting. So I don't know how that works. But there's Angie Janetti, Depo, all this stuff. Like when you click on it, it'll just say sealed. Oh wait, no, this one's unsealed. What is this one? Oh, this is Jane Randall. I don't know. Some of these I haven't read, so maybe they did get unsealed, or I just didn't click on it, because I know like most of the Sony stuff was sealed. See, look, most of the Sony stuff is filed under the seal, and all of the Blake stuff is filed under the seal. But yeah, there's definitely tons and tons of content here, so I'm looking forward to all the creators who are gonna, go through all of this, because it's a lot, y'all. Look at all this. These ones were, so these are the excerpts. This is where the exhibits start. Those excerpts that I showed you, and then the contract writer agreement, the final loan out agreement. So this will be interesting to hear from the lawyers, all this part right here, the offer letters and the co-financing agreements and all that. The lawyers can break all that down. I had no idea what any of that was about, or how that was useful or whatever. This one is the one I wanted to see, Danny Greenberg's deposition, because he's the one where WME was saying that like, you need to fire him or else. And then a bunch of text messages that were sealed. But basically everything I tried to click on that was like BL stamped, see, filed under seal. Anything that was Jenny was also filed under seal. So we'll have to parse through it. I'm going to go through the chat one more time. My heart hurts for Justin and what he's been through. Yeah, that sucked when he's like, "I felt like a 5-year-old. Like there's a way to have like a decent meeting without attacking someone, and especially not in front of a bunch of people. Like that is crazy. Let's see what else. So thank you, Laura, for joining us this morning. Laura did get some good sleep last night because we had Christina modding last night. She's up really late. She's getting tired. Wants you to show who the Asian lady is at the bar scene. Oh, that I'm trying to find. Okay, let me go get her because I actually did a close up. I have a tab up. Ooh, great minds think alike, Jesse and Max. Because I had a close up of her. Let me pull up that tab. But I was like, should I pull up that tab? Hold up, y'all. Dang it, sorry. All my tabs are all messed up. So let me pull it back up again. Let me make it big and pull it back up. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me share the tab. Okay, there she is. And then I'll tell you who the costume designer is, who I think it is. And you guys can tell me if you guys think it's her or not. So there it is. This is her. I think it's the costume designer. Hold on. But there's only a side view of her. I try to find pictures on the internet of her. Hold on. Her name was Zinnia Kim. That's who I thought it was, but I could be wrong. At first I thought it was the waitress. Because there's another Asian girl that played a waitress in there, but she's not in the actual scene. So I was like, it seems like she takes her coat. So y'all can tell me, do y'all think this is her? And I was like, should I do it as part of the show? But then I was like, what if it's not? And then I'm doxing her. But this is allegedly, we don't know. We're just trying to match up people. But this is who I think it is. I feel like I'm going to be like the eye doctor. Oh, I didn't make it big. Hold on. I thought I did. Let me take this off and make it big. Okay. So that's the picture of the costume designer for It Ends With Us. And then this is her. I'm like, A and B. Which one's clear? B or A? So I don't know because it's only a side profile and I couldn't find no other picture of her. And the bow of the lip didn't kind of look like her, but I don't know, y'all. That's as close as I got, but I was like not convinced it's her because I didn't get like a full, but it looks like she was, helping her with like a jacket or a purse or something. So that's why I was like, this could be her. But there's also a waitress that kind of was similar to her. That said female waitress that was on the set list. But like I said, the reason why I just kind of stopped sleuthing it was because I was like, well, wouldn't she be in the disclosures if this was her? So I don't know, y'all. Let me put myself back up there over here. And so it's painful at times. Okay, yeah, let's see what else is going on. If y'all thought A or B. Zinnia, yeah, that's who I thought. Does she have socials? No, she does not have socials. That's the only picture. Would a costume designer be on set? Well, yeah, like to give her the purses and the stuff like that. That's what I would think. Who's back? You're back. I'm back. Yay. Life with Carrie. I see some faces here. Thank you. We have a big crowd. We have 170 people, y'all. That's a big crowd for a morning show. But Blake's voice is deep. What are we talking about? Maybe I'll change Kelly's name to Blake. Who's Kelly? But no, she doesn't have socials. I mean, and that's all we wrote. I'm gonna go do in real life stuff and just sleuth probably for the rest of the day. Get into some more of those exhibits that I haven't seen because I haven't seen. Let me see which are the ones that I have not seen yet. The ones that I have not clicked on. I was just on the lives, on Bocce's live, watching them. Was over here. Was the second set, the most recent, this one, where there was only like a couple, because it was so fun over there. Like I was putting together the morning show and each person was doing like a separate part. What is this one? It Ends With Us poster. Oh, because he basically says that they shut him completely out of the movie. They took him off of all the posters. They wouldn't let him mark it. They took his name off of the credit. They wouldn't let him edit. They're like, they basically just took everything from me. So, and that's been my Roman Empire for forever, that even if he had done horrible, creepy things, like it still didn't, you still don't do that. You go through the proper channels and then you like I think it was Raven that made a show about like accountability instead of punishment, where you allow the person to like rectify and like come to them like as an adult, like, hey, what you did, this, like, I took it as this, is that what you meant? Like, because apparently it seems like they might have let the hugging go on just to like have something over his head or whatever, which is crazy. But yeah, there's some emails from like Jennifer Abel and stuff. So I'm looking forward to all the little emails. There was the same ones from Colleen Hoover that we had seen. So some we had already seen. Photo of Baldonian team in base. Oh, in the basement. So yeah, there was some stuff that we had already seen, and there was like Tara Hanks' deposition. So I'm gonna go through all that for y'all. We will see you guys tomorrow on the morning show. Let me just see what else is going on over here. I stayed up until 1:45 a.m. Oh, thank you so much. Were you watching or were you just sleuthing? If Shane Reed was deposed. Who is Shane Reed? Do we know who Shane Reed is? Shane Reed. Oh, that was the composer. No, I didn't see anything that had Shane Reed. But there was a couple of names that I didn't understand. There's a couple names that I didn't get. Dang, everybody was sick. We were like everyone's flu stream, because Miriam, weren't you sick too? We're not dealing with normal people. These are sociopathic people. Have a great day. Thank you so much, DFJ, for modding this morning. I really appreciate you. Go check out her live. Go check out her channel over there. And yeah, I will be here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. And you guys in the meantime can catch me either on X or on TikTok throughout the day until I can catch up with you guys tomorrow. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great day.